with today's In Crypto show, where we'll be discussing the latest news, what is going on in the crypto markets. As you can see, the situation is not that well today, a lot of red, and we'll be discussing that. So just bear with me 1 second, and we are live. All right. How's it going, guys? Vitaly Dubin is here, founder of Bitcoin's Walls Club, and this is Today in Crypto show, where we're discussing the latest news, what is going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space. And today we have two very important things to discuss today. And the most important one is regarding the Bitcoin ETF and its big impact on the prices that we are seeing today in the markets. I'll be honest with you, it's not fun to see a lot of red as we are seeing today in the market, with Bitcoin down by 9% in the last 24 hours, Ethereum 10%, Ripple 16%. One of the lowest times during the whole year is in Ripple. Also Bitcoin Cash, EOS down 18%, Stellar 12%. So you can see we have double-digit declines today in the majority of the cryptocurrency space in the top 100. It's literally what is being described as the bloodbath or crypto bloodbath, however you want to call it. Only two sacred coins, actually Tether is a stable coin, and it was up 0.22%, which is very surprising. Why? And Aurora 2.58%. All the rest are down in the top 100 cryptocurrencies, and it's been wiped off about $30 billion today in the market cap. So why is this reaction, and most importantly, what you should be doing about it, and what it all means? So the market is reacting to the latest news, and it is being exacerbated by the big whales that they cannot wait to hear some delays or some news that are not in favor for Bitcoin to dump the price down in relation to the news, and then everybody else is panicking and then selling as well to bring the price down. So it's exactly what happened. One of the biggest events that we have anticipated this year in 2018 is all about the Bitcoin ETF, which will allow investors and traditional investors and hedge funds to basically purchase Bitcoin in the stock market, purchase this asset class without holding Bitcoin into their wallet. And there have been several ETF proposals that have been rejected many times by the SEC. And this one in particular, 1E Consolid X ETF coming from CBOE, had basically the biggest chances to be approved by the SEC. And basically the SEC has exercised its right to delay, to postpone its decision on whether to approve or disapprove this rule change, this Bitcoin ETF. Now, upon the approval of an ETF, it will cause a flood of money into the crypto market, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars. And that, guys, is a significant event, right? Because all the pension funds, all of the big hedge funds will be able to get on board with Bitcoin, and because they have insurance, right? Insured those transactions with the ETF. If something happens with Bitcoin, they'll be able to recover those funds. There is a lot of good stuff happening with this ETF proposal that received a lot of positive comments into the SEC. But what is interesting to note is that we are seeing 45 days delayed on the first deadline by August 16, which is not going to happen. The next deadline can be postponed until October 1st, another 45 days. Then the next one, December 31st, another 180 days from publishing, and the final March 4th. Now, will it going to be exactly like this? I don't know. We might see on September 30th a decision by the SEC to approve, and it will cause a rally to happen for Bitcoin. or it might be happening in 2019. But the researchers basically have found out that, and then there's a 20-page study that discusses that this Canaccord, a wealth management firm with over $5 billion in assets, they released this report, and they're basically saying that it is likely that the SEC is going to extend its deadline, in which case the decision may not be made until March 2019. Okay, so you gotta be prepared with a little bit more patience when it comes to this approval of this ETF. And the good news is that most likely an ETF is going to be approved, okay, sooner or later. If it's not this year, then it's going to be next year. And we're seeing other ETFs by Canada are also applying. So, you know, ETF is going to happen at one point or another. So that's important to realize. And the market is just overreacting to this delay that is happening. And basically the whales are happy to bring the Bitcoin down so they can buy more when it hits low, and they can make a lot of profits on it. You need to understand the psychology of this. Another thing that I wanted to discuss today, and it's really, really awesome. Rich Dad Poor Dad, the author of this book, which is one of my favorites, also the Cash Flow Quadrant, written by Robert Kiyosaki, a multinational best-selling author, is writing a new book. And in this book, he's basically saying that cryptocurrencies are going to save the day, and we are finally going to get rid of the fake money from the market. And of course, after 1971, when the US dollars is no longer pegged to the gold, right, by the President Nixon, you know, it's kind of been a quite a long process for it to happen. But the government money, the fiat money, the money you know today, the US dollars, the yens, you know, all of this is basically not going to be a viable form of payment in the future. Like, think about 2000, I don't know how many years we have left, you know, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. But he's saying that the entire economic landscape of the entire world, we're going to get rid of the fake money. He called it fake money, right? Not real money, because they're basically money that the government is printing, and they call it money, right? It's money by decree. It's not pegged to any real value. That's essentially what is happening. So he's pro gold, he has gold, and he also owns Bitcoin. So here he is coming from someone like Robert Kiyosaki, who has a big influence in the finance space, a lot of fans. You know, it's a great thing that Robert Kiyosaki recognized that, and he's in full support for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So think about the future. Think about the future of your children and what money they're going to be transacting. And it's most likely not going to be the local currency they're currently transacting right now. Okay, this is people's money. Cryptocurrencies is people's money. And that's the world that we are living in today, and that's the world that we are moving into right now. Okay, now another thing that you need to realize, on Twitter, there is a lot of scam going on Twitter with those botnets. Basically, whenever you are seeing a notable, I don't know, account where basically there is some kind of crypto giveaway, we're going to give 5 Ethereum or 10 Bitcoin or whatever the case may be, it is most likely a fake. Okay, it's a scam, and I've seen quite a lot of those. So don't be tempted to, you know, participate in any kind of free giveaway of Bitcoin or Ethereum, because what they are asking you to do is to send your Ethereum or to send your Bitcoin to a specific address, just to make sure where you can send you the money. and you will never going to see your money back. Okay, so be very careful about that, and don't participate into any kind of giveaways on Bitcoin or Ethereum where you are the one that needs to send the funds to some other account. Okay, and they're in the process of removing those bots, and they are identified over 15,000 bots that that is in place right now on Twitter, which is it's a lot. There's a lot going on Twitter right now in regards to the bots. Okay, so don't worry about the market crash. It is a temporary one, and you know, you may be thinking, why didn't I sell Bitcoin or stuff like that? Well, will you regret it more if you sold it at a price which is much cheaper, and then Bitcoin will go all the way to $20,000-$30,000, and you told yourself, why I was so stupid and sold my Bitcoin? You know, so it has fear in both ways, to keep Bitcoin, to not keep Bitcoin. You know, so it's better to trust in the long-term value of Bitcoin, because this market is unpredictable. It's prone to manipulations. That is definitely happening. Okay, moving on to the blockchain, guys, we have Ukraine now is using NEM blockchain for voting trials for the electoral commissions, right? So this is a trend that we are seeing in elections, where blockchain is going to be used for voting rights, which is awesome. It's much more efficient than you know, counting the votes of people locally that put you know, in their local community. And Opera, this browser, is now launching a built-in cryptocurrency wallet for desktop browser, built in and synchronizing with the desktop wallet. So will Google Chrome follow suit or not? We'll see that. I know there is a MetaMask application where basically you can connect your Ethereum wallet with Google Chrome Firefox. Will they create a Bitcoin wallet as well? Right now there's Ethereum wallet that you can use in your browser, on Chrome browser, but you know, who knows, maybe Bitcoin will be the next one. We'll see. But the cool thing is that the Opera is now launching its own crypto browsing wallet. Okay, so you can browse at the same time on your mobile or your computer and be using crypto. So as you can see, it's been adopted. It's going to go everywhere. It will be everywhere, in every place that you go. There will be crypto. So that's a very, very good thing for Bitcoin and the whole ecosystem. So that's what I wanted to discuss pretty much. We also have Bitmain. It's quite interesting. Now it's worth $15 billion in valuation after its rounds of funding, and they're going to do IPO, initial public offering, in the market. So this is the company that actually controls all the hardware, like 70-80% of the global market for mining hardware. They're controlling that. So it's kind of like a monopoly almost on the mining hardware equipment. And their profits exceeded Nvidia, $3 to $4 billion in 2017. So it's pretty giant company. So right now, be careful. I would not suggest to rush, you know, and to sell your Bitcoin in a panic mode, as it tends to happen when you see a market crash like this. And just be careful, because this price, we can bounce off of it pretty quickly. As quick as we fell, we can rise as quick as much, and we are showing pretty good support at these levels of 6,000, you know, 300, 200, $6,000. You know, those are some of the key support levels that we are going to be probably testing right now and seeing if we are going to hold up onto them. Okay, but over the larger scheme of things, Bitcoin will not going to remain at that level, right? Yes, right now is a big volatility. You know, we went from 8,400 to 6,500. It's a move of almost $2,000 in recent, you know, months, going up and going down as well. So that is for Bitcoin, BTC USD. You can see it right here, this move. This one, BTC USD. Okay. Yeah, so we're touching this right here level, okay, right now, and we've seen the lowest one is this level over here at 5,800. That was the lowest for the entire year in 2018, right? And the last time it was in this level at about November 2017. So we'll see how we're going to hold up into this support level, but yeah, let's see where Bitcoin is going to go next, and what are, because the smart money, they are buying at those levels, you know, because they were buying here and they were buying here, and they will want to continue buying at those levels and supporting that level. So a little bit of analysis for you over here, okay? And it seems like we are going down right now, like this is going down, the volume is going down, so we're following price on a low volume, getting lower volume, so that's a good sign. All right, so that's it for the news today, and I'm going to see you guys in the next live.